Madam Speaker, divorce in Mauritius is, inter alia, governed by Articles 229 to 238/7 of the Code Civil Mauritius, whereas the registration of a divorce, once pronounced by the Family Division of the Supreme Court, falls under Section 6 of the Civil Status Act. I am informed by the Civil Status Division that from January 2015 up to 31st of July 2019, out of the 10,472 divorces registered, 651 involved divorce between Mauritian nationals and non-citizens.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, as per Statistics Mauritius, in 2016, the total divorce was 1,910. In 2017, it was 1,996. In 2018, it was 2,425. Out of this figure, 52% of the couples had 1 or 2 children. Madam Speaker, the figures seems to be very alarming.
Ask your question,
so my question,
instead of providing information.
My question, Madam Speaker, is the Prime Minister able to tell the House if there has been any study to find out the causes that contribute to divorce and find out solutions to reduce the dissolution of marriage?
Honorable Sewocksingh, do you mean divorce among non-citizens of Mauritius? You're talking of non-citizens of Mauritius?
Yes, in general.
No, not in general. Your question relates to the number in which non-citizens of Mauritius are involved.
Madam Speaker, the question is information as to the number thereof registered since 2015 to date, indicating, which means indicating the number thereof in which non-citizens are involved. So my question to the Honourable Prime Minister.
We have understood your question, Honourable Sewocksingh. Allow the Honourable Prime Minister to reply because we are running out of time. Now, Honourable Sewocksingh, please don't argue with me. I know what I am doing, and it's my duty to see to it that many questions as can be replied by the Honourable Prime Minister has to be replied. Yes, Honourable Prime Minister. Resume your seat. Allow the Honourable Prime Minister to...
Madam Speaker, I was just checking out the figures that have been mentioned by the Honourable Member. They don't tally with the figures that I have here. But anyway, if the substance, I thought that the substance of the question would be on non-citizens. That's why I chose to reply. But if it was going to be on divorce generally, it would have been addressed to my colleague, the Minister for Gender Equality, Child Development and Family. So I will not be in a position to answer on the causes of divorce and so on. But with regard to non-citizens, yes, I will.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, the question I laid before the House, the Parliament. Now, to whom it is going to be directed, it is me. I wanted it to be directed to the Minister of Gender.
Please don't lose the time of the House. You've been here for almost 4.5 years now, and you know whose responsibility it is to ask questions about divorce among you. It would have been the responsibility of the Honourable Minister of Gender Equality. Whereas if it is for non-citizens, it is the responsibility of the Honourable Prime Minister. That's why the question is for the Honourable Prime Minister.
I totally agree to your ruling, Madam Speaker. For me, if the Honourable Prime Minister cannot answer, there is no problem. We can take it another time to the concerned Minister. But, Madam Speaker, this is a very serious matter. Divorce, the figures saying it. So if the Prime Minister...
Ask your question, don't make statements, please, that question time.
I don't know what is the problem. Anyway, may I know from the Honourable Prime Minister if he has taken note about the non-citizens in Mauritius who are involved in divorce case. So may I know how many of them have been granted a divorce decree? are still living in Mauritius, and how many have already left the country?
Well, from what I recall, I think there are two non-citizens who have left the country. Only two.
Only two.